Coming up, the calm after the storm, hear how students are picking up the pieces after the weekend.
Plus, with the election deadline just over 24 hours away, we'll tell you where to go if you're looking to vote. Those stories and more right now on Murrow News 8.
Northwest Public Broadcasting Studios on the campus of Washington State University. This is Murrow News 8.
Good afternoon, I'm Daniela Juliocano.
And I'm Noah Bolter. Welcome to Murrow News 8. Well, the transition to fall weather left thousands around the region without power last weekend, and some, like me, are still recovering. My apartment at the Ruckus started flooding on Friday to the point that the carpet in my bedroom was soaking wet. They say that they are scheduling a time with a third-party vendor to come in and clean the carpets. Until then, I know I'll be plugging my nose to avoid the smell, which made me wonder what other students are dealing with around campus.
I feel like it hit Pullman really hard.
I mean, I just bought hat and gloves today.
The wind was just atrocious, like it was so bad. I almost felt like I was being blown away when I was walking.
It just felt like a whole tornado was just next to me and stuff like that, but I had to get everything done, so.
The storm not only affected the entire Pullman community, but it was also, in some ways, a lot worse than expected. It was windy and very yucky in Pullman this weekend. Northeastern Washington and the panhandle of Idaho also got hit as well. Around 11:30 p.m., wind gusts in Pullman on the 5th reached 74 miles an hour, which is about 15 miles an hour over the expected gust. We can take a look here to see some of the key highlights, but large branches fell all over Pullman onto cars, but so far there are no reports of houses being damaged. So the rain right here, 2.86 inches of rain, and it's only November 7th. In a little while, we're going to see if this cold snap is going to continue or if it's going to stop.
Thank you, Catherine. With midterm elections coming up tomorrow, the university has opened up a voting center for students and the community. That's where Murrow News 8's Jonah Oakleaf joins us now. Jonah, have any students been stopping by the voting center today?
Thank you, Danny. I'm right here on the 3rd floor of the Cub, right outside the senior ballroom, where the Student Engagement Board has actually put together a student voting center. People can come either ask questions about voting, sign up and register to vote, or actually drop off their ballot. Now, I talked to some of the coordinators, and it sounds like around 70 students have come in today, and tomorrow they are expecting that number to double since it is election day. That's all I have for you. Jonah Oakleaf reporting from the Cub, Murrow News 8.
Thank you, Jonah. Well, if you've checked your school email recently, you might have seen that Hassan Minaj's performance at Beasley Coliseum has been delayed until spring. The email from the director of Beasley Coliseum says that the rescheduling is because of unforeseen circumstances. We reached out for comment, and they are yet to respond.
A WSU police sergeant accused of engaging in sexual activity while on duty resigned from the department last week. According to a news release from the university, Sergeant Matt Kurt violated WSU's policies regarding sexual harassment, improperly used university resources, and violated policies in the department's conduct manual. The situation dates back to December of 2020. That's when the university says allegations of misconduct first surfaced. Police leadership launched an internal investigation at the time, but did not notify the university. The university says they were unaware of the situation until an officer spoke up in March of this year. That's when the Office of Compliance and Civil Rights and WSU's Human Resources launched an investigation. In August, the WSU police chief, assistant chief, and a captain retired from the force before they could be disciplined for the mishandling of claims. The situation continues to unfold, but we'll keep you updated as we learn more.
Also in crime, a judge sentenced a Spokane man to nearly 4 years in prison on Friday after he was found with 500 fentanyl pills in his car back in March. Whitman County Judge Gary Libby said Buick was intending to give the pills to a drug dealer in Pullman to support his addiction. Libby sentenced Buick to a drug offender sentencing alternative of 45 months in prison and 45 months of supervised parole. The Daily News reports that Libby said he believes Buick will benefit from the alternative.
A woman is recovering after falling from a 2-story balcony early Saturday. According to Pullman Radio News, police officers and paramedics responded to a call around 3 a.m. at an apartment on Camacan Street. The unidentified woman fell 20 feet and landed on a dirt hill, with officers finding her just walking around. She was treated by medics on the scene. Officers believe alcohol was involved.
Over in Idaho, Latah County residents are being asked to check their internet speeds. According to the Moscow-Pullman Daily News, the Latah County Broadband Coalition is hoping people will participate in this effort so the county can qualify for more funding to bring broadband internet to rural households. More information can be found on the Latah County website.
Coming up, the city of Pullman is starting its annual leaf collection program. We'll tell you what you need to know to get your leaves collected.
And Catherine Rowley will tell you just how cold it's going to get for the rest of the week. Next on Murrow News 8. The city of Pullman will be picking up fallen leaves for recycling starting today, leading up to Thanksgiving. Take a look at your screen here. The city is collecting leaves in 4 phases, starting with Sunnyside Hill today through Wednesday. The WSU campus is not included in this program. The city says residents should rake leaves into the street near the curb 2 days before the scheduled pickup. People should not mix in sticks, other debris, or bag their leaves. Any of these might mean your leaves won't get picked up. Cars should be parked off the street during the collection window. If it snows, the city says it will prioritize snow and ice control, and property owners would then have to clear any leaves not picked up from the street. The city program will turn collected leaves into mulch.
The roads this past weekend looked pretty colorful as most leaves were falling from the trees due to high winds. Catherine, will we be seeing more of these high winds in the coming days?
So unfortunately, we went right from summer, week of fall, to winter. So yeah, it's going to be pretty cold. Let's go take a look at the weather wall. So I'm going to put these on because you might have noticed that today it was a little sunny during your walk to class, but you're going to take those off because you don't need them anymore. So today, again, it was really sunny, high of 40, low of 24. And if you're going to notice a new time on our sunrise or sunsets now, 4:20, 4:30 is because thank you, daylight savings. So if we're going to look at tomorrow's forecast, it's going to be a high of 40 and a low of 17. So it's going to be below freezing. So you're going to need to bundle up if you're going to be outside. It's going to be a little cold. Don't get frostbite. So if we look at the state map for today, all over is kind of cold. Eastern Washington, cold. And the other side of the state is cold as well. On Seattle Olympia, it's going to be a little rainy. Over here, not so much, but that could change. So if we look at the 5-day forecast, it's going to be partly cloudy, just very cold. So again, if your parents are coming for Parents Weekend, you might want to tell them to bring an extra jacket because it's not going to be pretty at that game. So partly cloudy, not supposed to rain, but there is a chance of raining later in the week. That's pretty much all I have for weather. Just remember to wear your hats, scarves, coats, stay warm. Please don't get frostbite. It's not fun. That's all I have for you for weather. Back to you guys at the desk.
Catherine, thank you. Coming up after the break, a look at football's victory over Stanford and what Coach Dickert says made the difference.
And find out who carried the Seahawks to a huge divisional win against the Cardinals. Your sports report when Murrow News 8 continues.
WSU basketball has a doubleheader today with our women's team absolutely crushing Loyola Marymount 93-41. Ula Matuka, who normally plays the 4 position, went 5 of 6 from behind the arc. Bella Maricatete scored 18 points, and Charlize Ledger-Walker showing off her skills with 7 rebounds, 6 assists, and 16 points. Our men's team just started, and they're playing Texas State on the Pac-12 network right now. That score as of now is 7-2. The Cougs made Stanford look like a high school team this weekend, beating them 52-14. In the first half alone, the Cougs scored 42 points, 3 touchdowns in the first quarter, 3 in the second quarter. When Nakia Watson plays, the Cougs just look better. He rushed for 166 yards and a touchdown, with his longest run being at the beginning of the game for 65 yards. Cougar defense played absolutely out of their minds yesterday as well, forcing 5 fumbles and recovering 4. Did I mention that 4 of those fumble recoveries were all in the first half? Just unreal. Jake Dickert loved the hunger his players showed this weekend, as well as how important it is to have Nakia Watson in the backfield for his offense.
There's a look in the eye. They're hungry. They wanted to win. They wanted to get back out here. We want to show the type of team we can be. And we emphasized taking the ball away for the last 10 days. We came out here and took it away. And we emphasized running the ball. 300 yards rushing is incredible. And the major part of it was Nakia coming back. He was himself today. And I've seen that kid since that USC game in the training room 5 times a day, wanting to be out there, constantly pressing.
I've been saying the Rams are my favorite team this year because the Seahawks have been sucking, but I'm going to eat my words here. The Seahawks are legit. Kenneth Walker III, the 41st overall pick in the 2022 draft, rushed for 109 yards and 2 touchdowns. MVP candidate Geno Smith threw for 2 touchdowns, finding his favorite receivers Tyler Lockett and the obvious DK Metcalf in the back of the end zone for 14. The leading receiver, however, was tight end Noah Fant, who had 5 receptions for 96 yards, with the longest reception of the game at a 51-yard bomb from Geno. One of the quarterbacks on Sunday looked like he'd been playing too much Call of Duty this weekend instead of watching tape, and I can tell you right now it was not Geno Smith. Kyler Murray was sacked 5 times for 35 yards worth of loss. And by the way, the Cougar volleyball team is now officially ranked at number 25 in the nation. It is about damn time. We beat Oregon State on Friday 3-0 and then lost 1-3 to the Ducks in Eugene. Their next game is Friday at ASU. That's your sports report. We'll be right back.
I'm personally still stuck on the fact that Aaron betrayed the Seahawks to become a Rams fan this year.
All is a joke. All is a joke.
We're all Seahawks fans. I know Danny's a Seahawks fan.
Yep, I am a Seahawks fan. And that's going to do it for us this afternoon. We'll leave you with some footage of the School of Music's Jazz Northwest in Bensel from earlier today. Good night.